crushed it. Lynetta crushed it. I'm talking about crushed it. They dropped 50 last night each. We only needed to score 100. They dropped 50 apiece. Back up, coach. I was like, dang. Had me taking notes. Like, who taught you that? Big homie, what's up, big homie? Oh, Lynn, you missed it? Oh, Lynn, it was, Lynn. Lynn. Got my Lynn in the building. I know everything is going to be everything. Yeah, Lynn, they brought it last night. They brought it way colder than they've ever brought it anywhere else. It was one of those special moments last night. Monica killed it. Lynetta killed it. Musa killed it. Had me, I'm telling you, I was taking notes the whole time. I'm like, man, I got to go back and watch this live. All right. But I'll have it, I'll get it posted. Yep, Liv, I got you. I'll get it posted. It'll be in our community. So you didn't miss anything. You guys know how we move. We keep it family, right? We keep it family. So everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. All right, let's get busy. Let's get busy. I think we said enough of the hellos and all of that. Got my nephew in the building. What's going on? Ellie, what's up, mama? So good to see you. All right, let's go. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but let me just share something with you real quick. There's no one to blame. You gotta let yourself out of that mental prison you've been living in. There's no one to blame. This is the first thing that I had to learn with respect to self-awareness, because I was carrying so much pain. I was carrying so much bottled up trauma. We also call that samskara, right? And samskara is just this negative energy that you were holding on to because of something that someone did to you, whether that person touched you inappropriately, whether that person hurt you somehow, some way, whether that person broke your heart, whether that person abused you somehow, some way. That's kind of what samskara is. And so, you're holding on to that bottled up negative energy that you won't release. And you don't understand that the only person that you're hurting in that moment is you. You're not hurting the person. You're not hurting reality. You're not hurting the people on social media. You are bleeding internally. I need you to understand that. You are blocking love's presence in your life. You are blocking happiness's presence in your life. You are blocking joy's presence in your life. And in that moment, you are disconnected from God. I need you to understand that. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm asking you to just listen to what I'm saying. You hanging on to your resentment about some situation that happened in a previous moment only hurts you. And what you have to understand is that every single person that you have ever encountered throughout the history of your life probably lacked self-awareness, they lacked emotional intelligence, and they were not masters of themselves. Which means what? Which means that person probably projected the unhealed wounds that they were carrying all of that time onto you. And that's unfortunate. But you cannot allow that situation to define who you ultimately become. You cannot allow that situation to become your permanent feelings. You cannot allow that situation to block God's presence in your life, love's presence in your life, happiness's presence in your life. No event, no situation could ever be worth that. Now, if that person was self-aware, let me tell you why God doesn't blame that person, even though you are. Because God knows that that person didn't come into the world that way. He knows that that's not what I created. He knows that that person had experienced a certain amount of trauma throughout the course of their life. And your path intersected with that person and they projected that onto you. It was never intentional, even though your ego is telling you that it is. It was never intentional because the person that lacks self-awareness doesn't have the ability to control how they react and respond in certain situations. They don't have that level of control. The person that lacks self-awareness cannot control themselves in certain situations. That's why they call it self-mastery. There is no self-mastery there, which means I'm just going to react from my trauma. I'm listening from my trauma. I'm reacting from my triggers. I need you to understand that. See, again, if the person was self-aware, if they were emotionally intelligent, that situation would have never happened to you. So when I say that there's no one to blame, you can blame them, but the blame is powerless. It only hurts you. It doesn't hurt them. The only thing you are hurting in this moment is yourself, which also means that you lack self-awareness. Because why would you allow a situation that happened in a previous moment that has nothing to do with this moment? Why would you turn that situation into a weapon that you are allowing to disconnect you from God, to disconnect you from love, to disconnect you from peace, and to disconnect you from happiness, even though you're not the one that did it? You didn't even do it. Make that make sense. Forgiveness is never about the other person. See, your programmed mind makes you believe that when you forgive that person for the situation, that you're letting them off the hook. You're not letting anyone off the hook. You're letting yourself out of your mental prison. That's what forgiveness is all about. It's saying that I will no longer walk around living out of my mental prison. I will no longer walk around being disconnected from love. I will no longer walk around being disconnected from happiness. I won't let go of that situation because I won't allow that situation to ruin me. That's what you're forgiving it for, but there's really nothing to forgive. Going back to my original point. Because every person that you encounter 9 times out of 10 lacked emotional intelligence, lacked self-awareness, and they projected that onto you. And someone projected that onto them. And someone projected that onto them. And someone projected that onto them. And then you just became the person that encountered all of that trauma. There's no one to blame. There's no one to blame. Now, you can waste your life blaming someone, which makes you feel justified in hanging on to your depression, which makes you feel justified in hanging on to your anger, which makes you feel justified in hanging on to your resentment. You can do that, but you're going to ruin your life that way. You need awareness. You need awareness, not anger. You need awareness, not frustration. You need awareness, not resentment. You lack awareness. The self-aware person blames no one because we understand that everything in life is PTG. Let me qualify that. Had that event not happened, you wouldn't be where you are in this moment. You would not be on this live stream right now. If I could remove that situation that you won't let go of, if I could wave a magic wand over you right now and I could take that situation out of your brain, it never happened, boom, boom, gone, you wouldn't be right here. That situation altered the course of your life so that you can be exactly where you are right now in this moment, so that you can start the process to becoming the greatest version of yourself. It's all PTG. But if you don't understand that, you feel justified in hanging on to the way you feel. I'm just trying to help you to wake up. I'm trying to help you to stop punishing yourself. I'm trying to help you to understand that it happened to your me and not to your I. The biggest tragedy in your life is your identification with the me and you not understanding that you are the I. You are not the me. The me is your persona. The me is your reputation. The me is your ego. The me is your pride. The me is your physical body. You are not the me. The me is your beliefs, your thoughts, your fears, your limiting beliefs and all of that. That's your me. The situation happened to your me. It did not happen to the I. That's what I need you to understand. But by some strange trick of the mind, you have convinced yourself that it did happen to you. That's more tragic to the self-aware person than the event itself. If you're talking to someone that's self-aware, they're looking at you and they're saying, my, she's in trouble. He's in trouble. Not because of the event, but because the meaning that you attach to it. But because the way that you continue to, think about that repeatedly, and punish yourself and punish yourself and punish yourself and punish yourself, even though the event is gone. It's over with. It's been gone. But you keep reliving that experience and you keep reattaching it to the present moment. So your wounds are not in the present moments. Your wounds are in a previous moment that you continue to reactivate and relive in the present moment. The present moment does not carry a single wound of yours. It does not carry your fears. It does not carry your anger. It does not carry your resentment. All of those things exist in a previous moment that you continue to project onto your current reality. That is a diamond hard fact. That's the realest truth that I can ever give you. And all of that is producing your depression. It's producing your unhappiness. It's disconnecting you from the divine in you. It's producing your anger and your resentment. It's why you operate at a low vibrational frequency. It's why you continue to attract unhealed people into your life. Why? Because broken people attract broken people. That's why you keep attracting all of these low vibrational people, because you won't allow yourself to become self-aware and to understand what actually happened with that particular situation. That the situation is not something that was bad. You don't understand that because you've been programmed and conditioned to look at everything as good or bad. That's the only filters you have. Your religion has programmed you that way. Society has programmed you that way. Your parents have programmed you that way to look at everything as a good or bad filter. So whatever happens, if it's out of alignment with what you think should have happened in that moment, you categorize it as bad, you unlock and generate the feeling, and then you spiral into unhappiness, you spiral into depression, you spiral into sadness. Why would you do that to you? Why would you do that to you? That's the number one indicator that you lack self-awareness. That's the number one indicator that you lack emotional intelligence. Why would you ever punish the Creator? The Creator is only the witness, not the wounded. You are the witness to the wound. The wound never happened to you. But when you lack self-awareness, you think that it did happen to you. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. You are the I. This is your me. You are the I. This is your me. You are the I. This is your me. Watch this. Let's say that you are getting ready to take a flight. You're going from LA to New York, straight through flight, nonstop. You're going from LA to New York. You get on the plane. You put your seatbelt on. You do everything that you're supposed to do. Midway through that flight, there's a bird strike. And out of nowhere, you just start hearing all this boom, 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 boom. There's all of these sirens going off. People are panicking. People are freaking out and all of these other things like that, right? There's a bird strike going on, right? Alerts going off. And if captains are telling you to put your seatbelts on, all of this craziness going on outside of the plane. But did it happen to you? Did it happen to you or did it happen to the plane? The trauma was on the outside of what was going on. It never happened to you. Did you experience it? Yes. Did you witness it? Yes. Did you experience any pain in that moment? No. Okay, well, you're the plane in life. But the occupant inside of the plane, your spiritual being, your I, your essence, never experienced. Your physical body is just the plane. You are the entity that resides inside of the plane. So you never experienced that. You are a version of yourself created by God that there is not a human being in history that has ever gotten close to you, has ever touched you, has ever abused you. You are the witness to the wound, but not the one who carries the wound. The wound lives in your me. It happened to the plane. This is the plane, not to the occupant inside of the plane. You are the awareness behind the event. You are the awareness behind the trauma. You are the awareness behind the situation. That's what God, man, I gotta catch this. You gotta catch this. You're always the witness, never the wounded. Never the wounded. That's the reason why I can change your name. The I remains the same. I could change your religion. The I remains the same. I could change where you live. The I remains the same. The I has been the same since the day you were born. It never ages. It only witnesses. You are in a synergistic relationship with God right now and you don't realize it. The identification is what's hurting you, not the situation. The story you're telling yourself is what's hurting you, not the situation. The meaning that you continue to attach to it is what's doing the damage to you, not the situation. The situation is over. It has no power. It never had power to begin with. Everything only has the power that you give it. You give everything power. Even the trauma, you give power. The joy, you give power. People in your life, you give power. You give everything power. Nothing has power without you. Nothing has power without you. I'm going to say, I could go deeper on this, but I want to get into this live. I'm just letting you guys know your source energy, period. Your source energy. You're what sight reports back to. You're what the mind reports back to. You're what consciousness reports back to. You're what sound reports back to. You are what taste reports back to. Everything reports back to you. You are not those things. Those things are all, you are what the physical body reports back to. Everything reports back to you. Man, you got to wake up. What's hurting you is what you're identifying with. That's what's hurting you. Not what you are, what you identify as. That's what's hurting you. Not the situation. There isn't a situation on this planet that can hurt you because you are the divine. You are source energy. Wake up. You are the occupant inside of the plane. The damage happened to the plane like the bird strikes. The trauma happened to the plane, not to the occupant inside of the plane. You witnessed it, you saw it, and all of that got reported to God immediately so that he knew that what healing that person would need, and he knew what you would need so that he can create better and more powerful experiences for both parties involved. You got to catch this. Both of you needed medicine. You need medicine, they need medicine. He knows what to administer because the situation never happened to you. But you think, why would God allow this to happen to me? It didn't happen to you. He looking at you like it never happened to you. What are you talking about? It happened to the plane, to the car, not to the eye. And you'll suffer until you realize that. Not because the world is punishing you, not because God is punishing you, because what you're identifying as is punishing you due to a lack of self-awareness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. It's what you need. It's all you need. You don't need the therapist. You don't need me. You don't need medication. You need to wake up. You need awareness. You don't need to spend money. You need awareness. You don't need to call anyone. You need awareness. You don't need to go get someone to fix your life. You need awareness. You are the answer to everything you've been searching for, to everything you think you need from someone else. You are the answer, and you will suffer in life until you love yourself enough to become the solution. And when you become the solution for you, you will become the solution for millions of people that will come behind you, that will all be where you once used to be. You got to understand how it works. Nothing has ever touched you. Nothing has ever hurt you. No one has ever disrespected you. No one can reach you. Not the smartest person on the world. You have been underneath God's protection this entire time. You are a unique branch of him, a version of him that there's not a single human being on the face of this earth that will ever get to experience what you get to experience. That's a diamond hard fact. You are the only human being that will ever be created that will have the opportunity to have that relationship with him. My relationship with him will be totally different. It's like your siblings. Let's say you got 4 or 5 different siblings, right? Each one of you guys has a different relationship with that parent. You don't have the same relationship with your family, with your mom that your sister does. You don't have the same relationship with your mom that your brother does. That's a diamond hard fact. All of those relationships are different. They are unique. Your relationship with him is unique to you, to the assignment that he gave you. It has nothing to do with me. I can preach to you all day long about my relationship with him. It's not going to unlock you. You can go to church all day long and listen to somebody preach to you about what they think he is. It won't unlock you. The only way it's going to unlock you is for you to become so self-aware that you go inside, which is where he is. You trying to find him in the world outside of you. You never find him that way. You have to unlock him inside of you. And when you unlock what's within, you're going to see him everywhere else. And then you'll understand. Your life has been a symphony this whole time. Your life is the symphony. You're not a single instrument. You're every instrument. You're everything that you see, energetically speaking. Whatever you see is what's coming out of you. You give meaning to everything. You are the most powerful thing walking and you don't realize it. That's the trauma. You don't see it. You don't see it. What's the answer? Self-awareness. See, that's why you have to be the most authentic version of yourself. No more pretending. Because you'll never become unlocked through pretending. No more masks and all of that. Be who you are and build yourself. Every single day, you should be building you. Building me how, coach? Through self-awareness. Why? Because there's no ending. There's nothing to compete against. You're wasting time competing against someone else. There's no ending. Why? Because the universe is expanding at 2 million miles per second. That's a diamond hard fact. You can Google that. The ending is God. You'll never catch up to him. He's moving too fast. You'll never catch up to him. Can you be further up your mountain than someone else? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you got to understand that this person that's climbing their mountain over here has a unique relationship with him that you are totally cut off to. Let me qualify that. Every single person that sees you in life sees a different version of you, a version of you that you are blind to. You don't know the way I see you. When I look at you, you have no idea what I see when I look at you. So every single person that you bring into your life has a different relationship with you. They all have a different perception of you. They all have a different version of you that exists in their mind, not in your mind. The version of you that lives in your mind is consistent. The version of you that lives in the minds of someone else is vast. Because every single person is seeing you through their own programming and conditioning. No two people are seeing you the same. You are 10,000 versions of yourself all rolled into one. You are 8 billion versions of yourself all rolled into one. Why? Because every single person that sees you is going to see you differently. To this person, you might be funny. To this person, you might be smart. To this person, you might be beautiful. To this person, you might not be that attractive at all. Every single person is seeing you differently, which should give you permission to be you. They're going to see you different anyways. Why would you not be you? You're going to have a different perception of me anyways, whether I'm pretending or I'm being who I'm really supposed to be. You're going to see me the way you want to see me anyways. So if you're going to see me the way you want to see me anyway, let me be me. The most dominant, the most powerful, the most fearless version of me. Everywhere I go, I'm fearless. Why are you so fearless, coach? Because I have no attachment to life. I'm not attached to life. I'm eternal. Let me be attached to life. What am I attached to life for? Being attached to life is what's going to produce the fear. Me being attached to life is what produces worry. It's what produces stress. I'm too busy living life to wonder when it's going to end. I'm too busy being a force multiplier and creating impact and waking people up to ever worry about when it might end, what might happen to me. Got time for that? That's where all of your fear is coming from. You too worried about what you can't control. Can I control it? No. Then why are you worried about it? If it's not in your hands, it doesn't deserve to be in your mind. Period. If it's not in your hands, why is it renting space in your mind? If you don't have the ability to control the impact, what the hell are you doing thinking about it? You only punishing you. Lowering your vibrational frequency, walking around all afraid, insecure, worried about what people, man, come on, man, you got to wake up. I have no attachment to life. Does that mean that I don't love life? No, I love my life. My life is amazing. But I don't have an attachment to it, which means I have freedom. Which means that I have peace, which means that I can experience unconditional love, waves of it, so much so that I can give it to you. Why? Because I don't have any attachments. I'm only attached to the one thing. And the one thing that I'm attached to controls everything. What's the one thing? God. I have one attachment. One. I love one thing. And because I love the one thing, I love everything. I don't have to love what's on this side of the wall. If I love what's on this side of the wall, which is God, I love everything that he created. See, we got people walking around with all of this conditional love. That's the reason why unconditional love isn't in your life, because you love conditionally. You like this person, you don't like this person, you make assumptions about this person, you judge this person, you think you know who this person is and all of this. God don't move like that, only you do. So because I love him, I love everything that he's created. I love him at his essence. I love what he symbolizes. I love what he's been for my life. I love how he's transformed me into a force multiplier, into the medicine, into the blessing, into the solutions that other people need. I love the fact that he trusts me enough to place his most precious children in my path so that I can help to unlock them and guide them to where they need to be. Do I take credit for that? Hard no. When I pay for other people's meals in line and all of these other things like that, I might be at a Starbucks and pay for all 8 people behind me. And guess what I'm going to do? When I'm talking to that clerk, when I'm talking to the lady at the checkout counter, I whisper to her. Whisper. Hey, I want to take care of all of the coffee behind me. Don't make a scene. Don't make a scene. This is between me and you. I'm going to leave you a nice, handsome tip. Let me get out of the door before you tell anybody. That's what I'm going to tell her. I do this every day. Let me get out of this door before you say anything. And I do that because I don't want to take the glory from him and try to put me in it. When I go and buy bikes for kids and all of those things, I put from God on the bike. So they have no choice but to look up. I want them to see me, because if they see me, they won't see him. You get all of these people, everybody want to take credit for something, never realizing that you are playing a role that he's allowing you to play. Take you out of it. Too much of you in it. It's the problem with the world today. It's too much of you in it. We don't understand what's happening here, that the fact that we are all a part of an interconnected, interdependent society, I don't want to be in it. My students will tell you that I don't take credit for what they are. And we're talking about some amazing transformations here. I don't take credit for that. 0. You thank God. You don't have to thank me. See, we don't understand something. When you start studying self-awareness, you really start getting into it, you start to understand that the 2 most powerful words, I can make the argument, the 2 most powerful words, period. But especially when they're used in tandem. The 2 most powerful words when used in tandem in awareness is utilization apparatus. Utilization apparatus. The 2 most powerful words, in my opinion, in self-awareness. Why? Because you can't get anywhere without them. You've been benefiting from them your entire life and you don't know why. You don't even know how. You are always in control of what you are aware of. But what you are not aware of is in control of you. So how can I truly benefit from something if I'm not aware that I'm even benefiting? Let me break it down for you. Apparatus, an instrument, utilization, to make use of. So how do I apply that, coach? I turn coach, come on man, you gotta catch this. I turned coach into an instrument for me, and I made use of it. Why? because Coach represented a springboard. He represented a catalyst for me that elevated my level of self-awareness, that elevated my level of emotional intelligence, that elevated my level of self-mastery. I turned Coach, and I say this lovingly. This is not manipulation. Stop living out a lower mind. To be used is the most beautiful thing in the world. You want people to be able to make use of you, because if a person can't make use of you, you don't have any value. I didn't say to be manipulated. I said for a person to be able to be in a position where someone can make use of you. So when you think about utilization and apparatus, and when you walk through the world from a self-awareness perspective with a utilization apparatus, think about what I'm saying. Your phone puts you in a position to be on this live right now. That's utilization apparatus. Without that device, you can't experience what you're experiencing. So when you start, so the phone represents value. Your car is utilization apparatus. It's an instrument. You make use of it. What does it put you in a position to do? Go from A to Z. Wonderful. That car, check. Put that over here. Phone, check. Coach, check. Car, check. My house, utilization apparatus. I didn't build the house, but I benefit from it, right? I've turned it into an instrument for my growth, right? For my comfort, right? So that I can keep my family sheltered from the elements outside and all of these things. Check. Okay, look at your life that way. You should be looking at your life through a utilization apparatus perspective. Some of you guys are in a situation or in a relationship right now that doesn't represent utilization apparatus, meaning that the person in your life is decreasing you in value. They're abusing you. They're disrespecting you. You're not winning. You're not learning. You're not growing. You're not doing anything but becoming less, not more. When you start walking around with a utilization apparatus mindset, that means that everything in your life should be adding value to you right now. Damn some potential. We ain't got time for that. If it's not adding value to you right now, then that can only mean that it's decreasing you. It's not increasing you. Why is it in your life? You're the human manifestation of value. Why is there anything in your life right now that's not adding value to you? What version of you is tolerating that? What version of you is accepting less? What version of you ignored the red flags? What version of you shrunk in the moment? I just want to know. Let's call that version of you to the front of the class, please. Call that version of you to the front of the class, please. This is all utilization apparatus. Everything in my life is an instrument for my growth, for my evolution, for my becoming everything that God has created me to be. Everything. There's not a single thing in my life that's decreasing me in any way. And when you change yourself to a utilization apparatus mindset, when you shift that energy to that, you're going to take off. Because everything that you look at, you're looking at it to see, how can this be a springboard for me? Your professors, utilization apparatus. All of the teachers, utilization apparatus. Mentors and life coaches, utilization apparatus. I take this person, I add them to my life. Why am I adding them to my life? Because they're a springboard for me. They're a catalyst for me to raise my consciousness, to raise my awareness, to raise my emotional intelligence, to increase my financial status, right? Of all utilization apparatus. All of it. So, but here's the problem. You're not looking at that. You're not looking at utilization and apparatus with a high level of intentionality. So you're not really benefiting from it. Every single thing is utilized. The food you eat, the animals, everything that God has ever created, it's all utilization apparatus. It's all here, not for you to possess the thing, but for you to experience the thing. Because the thing is going to unlock a version of you that's already inside of you. That's why you want utilization apparatus in your life, because everything that you add to your life is only unlocking what was already there. I don't need to control the thing. I don't need to become all attached to the thing. I don't need to start clinging to the thing. The positive experiences unlock you. The negative experiences unlock you. Everything is unlocking you. And when you shift your mindset to utilization apparatus, man, you'll see it. But if as long as you live out of your programming and conditioning, you're going to categorize things as good or bad. And you're going to be stuck your whole life. You're going to always think somebody doing you wrong, and always think somebody trying to play you, and always think somebody trying to manipulate you. You won't see it. But the problem is not in reality. The problem is only in your mind. Your problems don't exist outside of you. You only live in your mind. They only live in your mind. There's no one to blame. There's no one to blame. No one to blame. Brian, what's up, kid? Yeah, let's get them likes up, you guys. Get the likes up, get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. How you doing? How you doing, my brother? How you doing? All right. I'm getting ready to say some things right now. Hey, what's up, Panther? So good to see you, Mama. I'm getting ready to say some things right now that is going to bump up against your programming and conditioning. Put your seatbelt on. I'm warning you. It's going to hit some turbulence here. It's going to hit some turbulence here. I'm getting ready to say some things that's going to bump up against your programming and conditioning. That doesn't mean that it's not true. Doesn't mean that it's not true. See, I need you to understand something. Anytime that you're engaged in a conversation, I don't care who you're talking to, whether you're talking to Barack Obama, Donald Trump, or this person over here. Anytime that you're engaged in a conversation with another person, the most important person in the conversation is you. Not the person that's speaking, just you. And are they important? Of course they're important. But they're not nearly as important as you. Why are they so important, Coach? Because there are things that are happening to you internally that most people aren't aware of. For example, you probably don't realize that when you're speaking to someone else, what they're saying is always being filtered through your programming and conditioning. That's dangerous. That's dangerous because that means that that information is being filtered through some system, being altered, being tampered with, and you don't even know you're doing it. That information is also being filtered through your beliefs, which means that if it's out of alignment with what you believe to be true, you will reject it. Not because it wasn't the truth, because it didn't align with what you convinced yourself was the truth. Because you believe something doesn't make it true. It just means that's what you believe. So because you holding on to some belief doesn't make it true. This person can be telling you the truth. You shutting it down because it's out of alignment with what someone programmed you to believe. So I'm opening up the conversation this way so that you can become aware. Again, the most important person in the conversation right now is not me. It's you. And what you should be searching for, I'm not asking you to agree. I don't need you to agree with me. I'm not asking you to believe me. What I'm asking you to do is to set your programming and conditioning down. Set what you think you know down, right? Set your belief systems down and listen with your spiritual mind. The real you. Not the version that you have that version of you encased in. And all this protection around you. And let's just have a talk, spirit to spirit. No programming, we don't need it. No conditioning, we don't need it. No introjected beliefs, we don't need it. No attitudes, you don't need it. I don't want to win. Don't try to win. It's not about winning or losing. It's about learning. It's about growth. So here we go. This one is deep. Ah, it's deep. It's deep. Spiritual ears only. Please, or you won't hear it. I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I love Jesus. Type me in the comments right now if you love Jesus. Just type me in the comments. You ain't got to add anything extra. Just type me in the comments, please. You see how many me's I get? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. 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 Okay. I set you up very intentionally. I set you up. I needed to get you to come out. I set you up. I'm getting ready to take you to the bottom of the ocean of your own thinking. What I'm getting ready to say to you is about Jesus, but it's actually not. It really has nothing to do with him. I'm utilizing him because he represents a symbol, right, that at least we can all identify with. Whether you believe in him or not is not important. What's important is what's being said. Number one, what's important is where we go with this conversation. Okay. I'm saying everything I'm saying with the highest level of love and respect. Again, this is not religion. Let me say that because some of you guys are just a little bit too religious. This is not religion. What I'm getting ready to share with you has nothing to do with religion. Okay, so you put your little religion to the side. It's safe. I'm not attacking your religion. It's not about religion. I don't talk religion. It's not about religion. I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I love Jesus. You see this everywhere. You see it everywhere. It's always easy to love people that you have never met. It's always easy to love people that you have never met. And here's the world's most important question. This might be the most important question in the world. Just might be. How did you get to love a man that you never met, who was here 2,000 years ago? I said, how did you specifically get to love a man that you have never met in the history of your life? That was here 2,000 years ago. How did you specifically? I didn't ask you how somebody else did it. I said, how did you do it? How did you do it? We got to turn the awareness up here. How did you do it? We're gonna raise it. Again, this don't have nothing to do with him. I'm just asking you how you did it. I'll tell you how you did it. You love the version of him that you have created in your own mind. I'm taking you somewhere. I said you love the version of him that you created that only exists in your mind. I mean, Truth is at the door. What we doing? I said the truth is at the door. We're going to let the truth in the conversation or not. We do raw truth here. Now, if the truth is something you don't want to handle, you can scroll past. I'm going to give you a few seconds to scroll past. I said you love the version of him that you created in your own mind. You love the idea of him. You love what he symbolizes. You love what he represents. But none of those things has anything to do with him. All of that exists in your mind. Ain't got nothing to do with him. You have never met him. This is something that you're projecting onto your reality. But it has nothing to do with the man, because you ain't never met the man. You don't know what he's like in your presence. You don't know what he smells like. You don't know what he feels like. You know nothing. All of this is going on in your mind. And what's worse is the majority of what you think you know, because that's all you got. The truth is back already. What you have is what you think you know. And that's been borrowed from somebody else. 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 You don't know where the truth is. You only going off what somebody programmed you to see. You running the program right now. You don't see it. You too busy and will fight behind that. You will fight behind that belief that's not anchored in truth. Now I can understand you fight behind something that's anchored in truth. Go for it. But you fight behind something that ain't even anchored in truth. You arguing with people and projecting your opinions on the people and projecting what you think you know and you don't know. The self-aware person would tell you, I don't know. And in that moment, they're telling you the truth. I don't know. To know is to experience. I don't give a damn about your concept. There's no concept in human history that accurately describes reality, not one. That's the problem. We walk around, we see reality through our concept of it. Not through the truth of it. Why? Because you're seeing it through your programming and conditioning until you become spiritually awakened. That's the truth. Again, you love the version of him that you created in your mind. You love the idea of him. You love what he symbolizes. You love what he represents. That has nothing to do with the physical man. It's only something that exists in your mind. So you have to understand, when you start studying self-awareness, you have to understand the difference between empirical knowledge and conceptual knowledge. Empirical knowledge means that you experienced it for yourself. Conceptual knowledge means that you have some concept of it that you have borrowed from someone else. One more time, empirical knowledge versus conceptual knowledge. Empirical knowledge means that you experienced it. Coach, I went to the beach. Coach, the sand was 80 degrees. Coach, the water was 85 degrees. Coach, they handed me a drink. It had a coconut in it. It had this and that. I met this man. He had a kayaking business. That's empirical knowledge. You experienced it. Versus you telling me, oh, coach, you should go to this one place and take a vacation and all of that. You been there? No, I never been there, but I heard it's nice. I want to listen to you. You giving me your programming and the conditioning. You don't know what the experience is like. That's the difference. Here's what's worse. Again, this has nothing to do with Jesus. Nothing. I love the idea of him. That's the truth. I love what he symbolizes. That's the truth. I love what he represents. That's the truth. But I don't pretend to know him. And I don't want to borrow someone else's beliefs about who they thought he was and they didn't experience. And then somebody else's beliefs about who they thought he was and they didn't experience. I don't want that. What I want is the truth. And the truth is, I love what he symbolizes. I love what he represents. I love the version of him that lives in my mind, but I would never project that onto you. Because it's only a truth that belongs to me. It's not the reality of the situation. It's only my reality. But you got all these people walking around pounding their chests, telling you that you are bad this, you need Jesus in your life. You don't know the man. Don't know nothing about him. Walking around with all this borrowed information in your mind that somebody projected onto you. You need to have a seat. Get some awareness in your life. Here's what this whole message is about. This don't have nothing to do with Jesus. It has nothing to do with him. I'm using him as a symbol, right? Because it's something that we can all, at least we talk in words, but we think in pictures. So at least we have a symbol to go off of. Here's what the message is really about, so that you don't get it confused. So let me get this straight. You have developed the ability to love Jesus, someone you have never met. But you can't turn around and say hello to the person standing next to you, someone you can't see. You done developed all of this love for someone you have never met. But you can't turn around and say hi to the man standing next to you. Wake up. Where'd all this love for him go? Last time I checked, he didn't say love me. He said love your neighbor. So how did you develop the ability to get all of this powerful love and belief in you for someone you have never met? But you can't say hi to the woman next to you. You can't speak to the man next to you. You don't want to talk to these people over here, but you love someone you ain't never met in your life. Because somebody tricked you into believing that the only way that you're going to make it to heaven is if you love him. So you reject all of the people around you and your focus is on him. Never realizing that Christ is not a name. It's a level of consciousness that he carried. It's a level of consciousness that exists in you right now. What you're waiting for is you to wake up. That's what you're waiting for. Consciousness. You got tricked and people don't want to tell you the truth. It's a level of consciousness that's in you right now. You waiting on somebody else. That's why you losing your power. That's where all your power is going to, because somebody tricked you into looking over there when really your power is over here. But you're not ready to hear that yet. You want to hang on to your beliefs. That's keeping you stuck. That's keeping you blind. Hang on to them and let me know how that work out for you 20 years from now. Let me know how that work out for you 20 years from now when you still stuck, wondering why you stressed out, wondering why you unhappy, wondering why you depressed, when all of the power was in you right now. Somebody tricked you into looking this way when all your power is over here. Why they know that? So one more time. You have developed the ability to love Jesus, someone you have never met. But you can't turn around and say hello to the person next to you. You don't see the problem with that? You don't see the problem with that? You can't smile at the man who's walking on the street, right? You have no love for the man standing next to you that you can't see, but you love someone you can't see. I love someone I can't see, but I don't love the man I can see. But I love God, coach. Well, how are you rejecting his creation then? Make that make sense. You love him or you don't. Because if you love him, that means that you love everything that comes from him. Or do you only love how he benefits your life? Which one is it? How are you rejecting his creation but claiming to love him at the same time? How do you love Jesus but don't love the man next to you? Can't say hi to the man next to you. And here's what's crazy. Love doesn't need time. Love needs no time. You don't need time for love. It's instant. You can go to the homeless shelter right down around the corner from your house and give somebody some food. Give somebody a bottle of water. But sit and have a conversation with somebody and you gave love to them. You don't need time for that. You don't need time to say hello to the person. It's something in you that's blocking you from doing that. That's what I'm trying to wake you up to. Unconditional love is flowing through you like a river right now. Why don't you release it? I'll tell you why you don't release it. Because you're operating out of your programming and conditioning. Somebody programmed you to only see your family a certain way. Only see your friends a certain way. Only see the people that walk through life the way that you think they should walk through life. And everyone that doesn't fit that filter, you reject. You show them no love. That's the problem. That's not just your problem. That's a global problem. You sitting here got all this love for someone you have never met in your life, never will meet, but you have no love for the person standing next to you. Make it make sense. I got all this love for God, coach, but I don't love his creations. Make it make sense. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm just asking you to make it make sense. Again, this has nothing to do with Jesus. Don't get the conversation confused. Don't put him in it. Don't project your trauma onto the situation. I'm just telling you to focus on what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with him. I'm just saying, how did you develop the ability to love him and you can't love the person next to you? How did you develop the ability to love God, but you can't love this person over here? Why? Because those people all represent, or those entities represent you being able to get something in the future. You benefit off of them. You don't benefit off the man next to you. That's why you don't give him the love. Truth is back. What are we doing? If you thought that the man next to you would benefit your life, you'd be showing him all the love and respect in the world. I can't even say it, finish my conversation without the truth coming out. Come on, Moni. If that man next to you benefited your life somehow, some way, you be showing that man all the love in the world. Jesus benefits your life. That's why you're doing it. God benefits your life. That's why you're doing it. See, because somebody programmed and conditioned you to only focus on the people that benefit your life somehow, some way. Focus on what you can get from them. Focus on the value that they add to you. Focus on that's how you've been moving through life. So the person that's walking next to you, they don't represent value to your life. That's why you don't say nothing to them. That's why you don't say nothing to them. That's conditional love. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm not asking you to change nothing. I'm not asking you to think different, nothing. This is just next level conversation. Might be a little bit too much truth in here for you. Maybe it is. Coach, it's a little bit too much truth for me. I didn't need this much truth today. Well, you're going to get it. That's the problem with our world. You got all of these people walking around with all of this conditional love, but you claim to love God. You got all this love for Jesus. Why? Because they benefit your life. That's what the awareness is going to wake you up to. Everything benefits your life, but you don't realize that until you become self-aware. The person standing next to you represents just as much value to you as Jesus does. Why? Because he's carrying the same consciousness. He can add just as much value. He's going to unlock some version of you that you have yet to unlock. Every person has the power and the ability. The homeless man down the street, I promise you, go sit the homeless man down the street for an hour, and I promise you something will become unlocked in you. Why? Because giving is receiving. You can't give to anything without receiving something as well. Now you're giving from an external perspective, but you're receiving internally. What gets unlocked in you is the love. What gets unlocked in you is compassion. What gets unlocked in you is empathy, which is 10 times greater than anything that you gave the man, a little hamburger, a hot dog, and a bottle of water. You walk away transformed in that experience. You in that level of what you receive from that, you can't purchase anywhere. You can't buy it anywhere. You can't buy that feeling is what I'm trying to say. You can only experience it through giving. Can't buy it anywhere. That part right there is spiritual food. That part right there, let you know exactly what I'm talking about. She know. When you go give that little kid that bike, or you go give that little kid that backpack or something that they really needed, man, what gets unlocked in you can't buy that anywhere. We try and buy it. You can't buy it. You can't replicate it. To give is to receive. It's humanly impossible for you to give. That's why you don't place people on pedestals when they're at these charitable events, because what they're getting in that moment is infinitely more powerful than what they're giving away. But because you lack self-awareness, you only focus on what they're giving. You don't pay attention to what they're receiving. I'm looking at what they're receiving. I'm saying, ooh, that feeling that God just blessed him with is so powerful right now. I wish I could be here for 5 minutes just to feel it. Not out of jealousy, just to feel that. But you don't see it when you lack self-awareness. You only focus on the fact that they give us, oh, he gave $1 million. Oh, he gave this, he gave that. Man, what is he getting? That's what you're not paying attention to. What's the spiritual food that he received in that moment? Again, this don't have anything to do with Jesus. I love Jesus. God told me to walk across this whole planet right now. Go get him somewhere. I'm on my way, barefoot and all. But I love what he symbolizes. I love what he represents. Right? I love the version of him that I've created in my mind. But that's my reality. I'm not pretending that I know more than I know. I would never project what I know onto you. You may have a totally different version of him that lives in your mind. I don't want to debate you about that. What I know or what I feel or what I believe is sacred to me. And it allows me to unlock a certain vibrational frequency anytime that I think about him. I want to pattern my life after him. Different things like that. That's all I'm saying. You got all these people pretending like you know, you opening up the Bible, you want to quote stuff, you don't know what you're talking about. You borrow with someone else's experience and you're trying to project that onto me. You're talking to someone that's self-aware. Tell me your experience. Don't tell me somebody else's. Tell me what you experienced. You got all these people that are sit and talk to you all day long, but can't tell you their experience, but you can tell me somebody else's. Tell me yours. Give me empirical knowledge or give me nothing. You can't give me empirical knowledge. You a parrot right now. I can go get a parrot to just quote something to me. One more time. It's easy to love Jesus. That part right there, Rachel. Give me your testimony. Tell me how God changed your life. Tell me what he did for you. Tell me how you were on this side of life and now you're on this side of life. Tell me how you got past the drug habit. Tell me how you got out of the toxic relationship. Tell me how you got your bounce back. Tell me how you out here changing and impacting the world. Coach, I'm over here in this corner. I don't got a whole lot, but this is what I'm doing. And this is what, tell me that. Don't tell me something about some book that somebody told you that you have never experienced yourself. You walking around here like you're all knowing. You ain't got a single experience in you, but you can quote somebody else's experience. Man, get out of here and go sit down somewhere. Have a whole seat in the back of the car. I don't have an attachment to life because I'm too busy loving it. See? You see that? I don't have an attachment to life because I'm too busy loving it. Because if I'm attached to life, that means that I want to control it. If I'm attached to life, that means that I'm trying to possess it. If I'm attached to life, that means I'm clinging to it. God is life. So when I'm thinking about my life, I don't need to be attached to it because I don't want to experience the fear. I don't want to experience the worry. I don't want to experience the stress. What happens 5 seconds from now? I will never know, and neither will you. You will never know what's getting ready to happen 5 seconds from now. So why would you worry yourself about that? When he lives in the present moment, love lives in the present moment, joy lives in the present moment, happiness lives in the present moment. You can't experience those things in any moment. Even when you think about your trauma, you're experiencing it in the present moment. Even when you're thinking about your future, you're experiencing it in the present moment. Everything is experienced in this moment. The most amazing versions of you are all experienced in this moment. You can't experience anything without this moment. So why would you ever want to be outside of it? Why would you ever want to be disconnected from it? Why would you ever want to turn your yesterday into some weapon that you use to punish yourself because of something that you no longer have the ability to control? Wake up. That part right there, Quana. That part right there. That part right there. Let me say this. This part right here is not your fault. To love the person who is next to you is the biggest challenge you have. You don't realize that? To love the person who is next to you is the biggest challenge you have, and you don't see it. You don't see that there's something blocking that. If love is flowing through you like a river, and that's true. Happiness flowing through you like a river right now, and that's true. Belief, joy, all of those things flowing through you like a river right now, all true. It's not my opinion. Well, if unconditional love is flowing through you like a river right now, why do you struggle to give it to people? What happens to you in that moment? Will you turn it off and give them conditional love? Meaning you don't benefit my life, so I don't talk to you. I don't say hi to you because you didn't say hi to me. I'm not nice to you because you're not nice to me. What do you transform into? Who is that version of you? Who created that? Is that a representation of your trauma? Is that a representation of your pain? Is that a representation of your fear? What is that reflective of? It's not reflective of God, so what is it reflective of? He don't move like that. Somebody taught you that. To love the person who is next to you is your watch this. Come on. Let's try. Come on, y'all. Come on. My students, I need y'all to lock in on what I'm saying. You don't see it right here? I need you to catch this. Lynn, I need you to catch this. That's the challenge of life. That's the purpose of life. To be able to love every single person unconditionally. To unlock unconditional love in you. That's the whole purpose of life. And only one human being did it. His name was Jesus. Only one person was able to do it, as far as we know. That's the challenge. And what did he do? God created him so that he could be a blueprint. He created him so that he could be a map for you. It was never about you waiting for him. It was about you understanding that I can pick up where he left off. Because Christ consciousness also exists in me. We are all Christ's. You don't understand that? You are in a single player game right now. Stop looking at your life from a multi-level player perspective. You have the ability right now to unlock unconditional love within yourself and to give it to every single person that you meet. That's what you don't understand about love. It shines its light on everything, good or bad. Why? Because there's no judgment there. It shines its light on everything, good or bad. Why? Because there are no assumptions there. Because when you operate out of unconditional love, what you're going to understand from a self-awareness perspective is you don't know where this person is with respect to the path and the journey that God has them on. Get yourself out of the situation. You ain't got no business judging this situation. You don't have no business operating out of your assumptions. You don't have any business projecting your programming and conditioning onto the situation because this person doesn't move the way you think they should move. No, remove yourself from the situation and understand that this person is a unique creature of God, a unique divine being. You don't know where that God is taking that person. You don't know what he has them go. You don't know anything. That's what you can't say. And then you walk away. If that person is not in alignment with where you're trying to take your life, simply move away. You ain't got to judge. You don't have to criticize. You don't have to place assumptions on them, labels on them. You don't have to do anything. Continue to be the unconditional love that you were created to be. And remove yourself from anything that takes you out of alignment with God spiritually. Remove yourself immediately. That's self-love. Not let me try to convince this person to see my worth. Not let me try to trick them into loving me. Not let me try to convince them that I'm the right. We ain't got time for that. Man, you got to get to the top of your mountain. And when you make it to the top of your mountain, you will become the world's biggest magnet because you will become the second person throughout human history that was able to unlock unconditional love. It's the purpose of life. It's the hardest thing. Don't let me sit here and tell you it's going to be easy. Nothing easy about it. But it's the most rewarding thing that it's better than a billion PhDs. It's better than all of the money you will ever receive. Why? Because what's going to happen to you when you become unconditional love, you're no longer chasing things. Love doesn't chase, it only attracts. So everything becomes attracted to you. You're operating from the highest vibrational frequency. You're everyone's best friend. You're the medicine, the solution, the answer. You become the coldest thing walking and you don't see it. Because somebody tricked you into waiting for Jesus to come back. You are him coming back. You have the potential to be that right now. No, you don't see it. How many people see it? Type me in the comments if you understand what I know my students get it. Type me in the comments right now if you understand what I'm saying. We sitting here waiting on somebody else. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. This on you. This is on you. Is God saying you have to do it? No. Is it mandatory that you become that? No. Is Christ consciousness in you right now hard? Yes. But if you decide, Coach, that's a cross that's too big for me to bear. Coach, that's too much for me to carry. I understand. I get it. And I wouldn't say anything to you. I would never project my opinion onto you. You don't deserve that. But the purpose of life is, can you set your programming and conditioning down? Can you set your judgments down? Can you set the labels down? Can you set the assumptions down? Can you set because all of this stuff is being created by your mind. It doesn't exist outside of you. Can you master your mind like he did? So that when you look out at the world, the only thing that you see is everything is some unique brand, some extension of the divine. It all is. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to your programmed mind what's happening with this person. It's none of your business. That's God's business and that person's business. The same thing what's going on with you. That's why I tell you guys all the time, don't explain yourself to anyone. You don't owe any human being an explanation. Why? Because human beings are mistake-making machines. Why are you explaining to this person and they've made just as many mistakes as you? They failed just as many times as you. So why are you explaining to them? No, you don't explain yourself to anyone except for God. And once you say whatever it is you need to say to him, everybody else is irrelevant. I'm talking about pure irrelevant after that. Pure. All I'm saying is this. That's all I'm saying. We are all in a race, but not the type of race where there's a competition. We're all in a race. I've got my own race. I'm battling my programming and conditioning. I'm battling my assumptions. I'm battling my past traumas. I'm battling all of the things that make me afraid. You don't struggle with my struggles. So the only thing that I can do when I see you, come on, catch this. This is unconditional love. When I see you, let me help you. Because I already know that you're at war with your own mind. Why would I project my pain onto you? You're already carrying something that's too heavy already for you to carry. You might be barely making it. Let me get you some water. Let me get you some food. Let me sit down. What you need? You know what I'm saying? Let me help you. Give you a pound on the back or something. Right? And I see you on your journey. I see you on your journey. I don't want to add weight to that. I want to leave you better than I found you, or leave you exactly like I found you, but not leave you less. Right? So that's the whole purpose of life. Can you become oneness? Can you become unconditional love? It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. It doesn't matter how many failed relationships. It doesn't matter if you've been in prison 1,000 times. None of that matters. All of that happened to you during your sleeping state. Can you become unconditional love? You have the power. You have the ability to do it. Can you do it? That's the strongest version of you. The weakest version of you is the version of you that operates out of your ego. Why? Because your ego is so fragile. It needs everyone to like it. Everyone, coach, they don't like me. Coach, they didn't invite me. Coach, they didn't celebrate me. Coach, they don't believe in me. You don't see how weak that is? You don't see how fragile that is? Coach, they have a negative opinion of me. Coach, they're always criticizing me. That's weakness. Unconditional love is power. Why? Because I'm emotionally bulletproof, because I understand whatever you're projecting onto me is just your pain. You can only give me what you're in possession of. If you give me negativity, you're already suffering, because that means you're in possession of it. If you give me anger, you're already suffering, because that means you're in possession of it. If you're not giving me love, that means love is not in you. Because if love was in you in that moment, you would be giving it to me. It'd be flowing out of you like a river. So every time you're walking down the street and you encounter different people, be self-aware. Pay attention to what's coming out of them. Because whatever's coming out of them in that moment means that's what they're in possession of in that moment. And no matter what comes out of your mouth, it will never cause more pain to them than the pain that they're already in. Why would you throw your verbal gasoline onto this person? They're already suffering. Not only that, you become what you react to. So when you reacted to the situation, you became a reflection of the person. Both of y'all in trouble now. Now somebody got to come pull you out of the burning water. Thank you for the gifts, you guys. Thank you. Does that make sense? Yeah, the person is already on fire. You don't have to project your little verbal gasoline onto the person. They're already in trouble. And they probably don't know how to get themselves out of that place. Why did you throw that on them? They didn't need that. But that's what happens when you lack self-awareness. You don't know any better. You just need to react. No, coach, I'm a man of principle. Man, that's you're lacking awareness. That's what that means. When somebody tells you I'm a man of principle, I'm a woman of principle, what they're really saying to you is I lack emotional intelligence and I just react to things. That's what that means. That means that I'm getting ready to react to something. I'm getting ready to transform myself into what I'm reacting to, because if I react to anger, I become it. If I react to rage, I become it. If I react to love, I become it. I become what I react to. So when you sit here pounding your chest and you think it sounds impressive to tell someone that you are a man of principle, you are telling me in that moment to move away from you because you lack self-awareness. I don't even want to talk to you anymore after that. Because you're a liability to yourself, you're a liability to the environment, and you are a slave to everything around you. Because the moment that somebody says something that's out of alignment with what you think should be, you need to prove your manhood. So I'll be in trouble. All right. I'm going to put the keys in park right there. How did you guys like, how'd you guys like the live? Did you guys enjoy the live? Hopefully you guys did. Again, my goal was not to just raise the awareness. Just got to raise the awareness. Right? Just raise the awareness. That's it. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. All is well. All is well. All is well. Everything is in a mess and all is well. What does that mean? The mess is in your mind. It's not in reality. You take the mess that's in your mind and you project that onto reality. You take the pain and the suffering that you're experiencing in your programming and conditioning, and you project that onto reality. All is well, all is well, all is well. Everything is in a mess, and all is well. Reality doesn't create the mess. The way you choose to think about reality creates the mess. The story that you create in your mind about what's happening with your current circumstances creates the mess. That little bear created the mess, right? So thank you so much for that, Mama. But I'm being serious. It's the mess is here, right? And once you master your mind, it's game over. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness and self-mastery, helping people to become the most powerful versions of themselves, helping people to achieve the highest level of self-awareness, the highest level of self-mastery, and the highest level of emotional intelligence, helping people to achieve the highest level of self-awareness, the highest level of self-mastery, and the highest level of emotional intelligence. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness, How Powerful Are You Ready to Be? If you don't have a copy of this book, you need to get one immediately. You can get it on Amazon. If you want a physical copy like this, you can get it on Amazon. If you don't have it in just if your goal is to become the most powerful version of yourself, if that's not your desire, don't worry about getting the book. But I've created a community called Mindset Masters, and Mindset Masters is everything that you've seen on this live stream, but on steroids, right? Because it's all about self-awareness. It's all about self-mastery. It's all about emotional intelligence, relationship mastery, and consciousness, and just becoming the most powerful version of yourself, helping you to become unconditional love, helping you to become a master of self, helping you to become emotionally intelligent, most importantly, emotionally bulletproof. What does that mean? That means that the things that are happening outside of you no longer have the ability to disturb you or to disrupt you, because nothing has the power to upset you. We upset ourselves, based upon our programming and conditioning and our reaction to things, right? And the way that in the story that we create in our minds and the meaning that we attach to things. But nothing has ever upset you. Nothing has the power to upset you. What upsets you is your programming and conditioning and your reaction to what they said. That's a powerful place to be. That's like first base. That's where I want to get you. Because once you become emotionally bulletproof, then you're no longer seeking external validation. You no longer care about the opinions of other people. You no longer, pattern your life based upon what other people are going to think. I could walk into an event right now, Snow White suit, and 5 seconds before I'm getting ready to go up on stage and speak, somebody can come up and spill coffee, and guess what I'm going to do? Go up and do that event. Why? Because I don't care about that. To where a person that lacks self-awareness, oh my God, my outfit is ruined. I can't go up there, and I can't let them see me and all. So you're going to not be the medicine that those people need, because you're more worried about that stain than you are on delivering the message that God sent you there to deliver. That's what you're telling me with a straight face. That's what I'm saying. That's a great example of emotional bulletproofing, where you just no longer care, because you understand that people have a different version of you that exists in their minds anyways, and they're not paying attention to you. They're paying attention to what you're saying. They're paying attention to your behaviors. They're paying attention to your level of education and what's coming out of your mouth, because your vocabulary has said more about you to people behind your back than their opinions of you ever could. So what you're saying, how you're impacting the moment, how you're showing up in the moment is more important than anything else. So if you guys are ready to take me on as a life coach, ready to take me on as a force multiplier, and ready to take me on as just really that mentor in your life to help you get from where you are to where you want to be, I encourage you to get signed up in my community today. This is not the community. The community is a community that I've created outside of this. Again, it's Mindset Masters. And if you get signed up today, you guys are going to receive a free copy of my book, The Secret of Awareness, How Powerful Are You Ready to Be? There's a reason why there's a 3 in there, if you guys noticed that, okay? That 3 is important. That 3 is the one thing that has the power to change the world if nothing else does. Unconditional love is the thing that will change the world, but that 3 symbolizes a big reason of how that's going to happen. Speaking of which, I'll leave you guys with this. You know, when you think about, well, how do you change the world? You know, The Secret of Awareness, take a screenshot of it. Again, if you want a physical copy, you can get it on Amazon, right? You want a physical copy, you can get it on Amazon. But if you want, you guys get signed up inside of the community, you can get a digital copy today. You know, the only way to change the world is to start by changing yourself. That's it. That's it. Because if you go and you attempt to change the world before you change yourself, you're changing it from your ego. You're changing it from your programming and conditioning. You're changing it from the perspective of your beliefs, which means that you're only changing it to suit how you see fit. When you try to change the world from a self-awareness perspective, you're thinking about other people first and how things benefit them, right? Because everything becomes a synergistic relationship when you become self-aware. That's why that's so important. But this book right here, I'm telling you guys right now, it's a game changer if you don't already have it. But if you guys are interested in getting signed up inside of the community, just type me in the comments right now. Type me in the comments right now if you are really, truly ready to take your life to the next level and become the greatest and most powerful version of yourself. If you don't have a burning desire to transform your life, please don't type me in the comments. Look at you guys. I got my students talking about me. So if you guys go to my profile page, you guys will see, if you go to my profile page, you'll see where it says join now. Click that link where it says join now. The entire community is $1. The entire community is $1. So if you it's $29 a month, no contracts, no obligations. Tara, can you pin that to there for me? You guys could either hold that link down, or thank you, Vanny. Copy and paste that link, hold it down for like 2 or 3 seconds. Put that in your browser. It's going to take you directly to the community, and then you guys can get signed up that way. Or you can go to my profile page and you can click where it says join now, and it will take you there. Okay. And then you will be locked in, and you will start the journey to becoming the most powerful version of yourself. And you'll have me take me on as your life coach. Everything is in the community. All of my live streams are archived inside of the community. So like the one that you're seeing now, great question. Thank you for asking that question. All of my live streams are archived inside of the community. I've got a podcast that very few people know about that's archived inside of the community. And I'm talking about like an infinite amount of live streams, like more content in there that you could ever imagine. Why is that important? It's important because when you're watching a live stream like this, like I'm going so fast, right? I'm going so fast that you might be like, okay, well, what did he say? Or this or that? Or you might want to take notes, right? And there's just so much stuff coming at you at one time. So when you're watching it inside of the community, it gives you the ability to hit pause, to reflect, to take notes. Why? Because each one of my classes, each one of my lives are like a master class, right? So you're able to take notes. And let me say this, even with me being a coach, just to qualify my point, even with me being a coach, all of my students that have had their transformations have never booked me as a coach. Not one time. The information in the community is so powerful that they don't need me as a coach. right? Because they have a burning desire. When you have a burning desire and you come in contact with the right information, the transformation is automatic. Now, am I there to guide them? Am I there to answer questions? Am I there to fill in the blank? All day long. But have they had to book me as a coach to get the transformation that they needed? Hard no. That's how powerful the information is. That's how powerful the community is. And then not only that, everyone in the community, we're all on the same team. There's no competitions, there's no negativity, there's no drama, there's no anything. Why? Because everyone is on their own spiritual awakening, and we all understand that and we all respect that. You won't see it anything like it on social media. I can promise you that. I will let you search for the next 50 years on social media, and you will not come up with anything even anywhere remotely close to what we have in our community. It's amazing. So endless amount of live streams, podcasts. I write every single day. I post things, and the stuff I write in the community is actually more powerful than what I talk about on the live streams. If I'm just being 100% real with you, what I post in the community and what I write is more powerful than what I talk about. It is. And I've got some of my students in the community that have huge notebooks of just everything that I've written. Tars being one of them. Vanny's being one of them. Lynetta's being one of them. Lynn's being one of them. You know, so I'm just giving you the real right now. I'm just giving you the real. So yeah, if you guys are ready to transform your life, but that's on you. See, the problem that people make, let me tell you the biggest mistake that people make. You think when you're spending money that you're investing in me. You're not investing in me. You're investing in you. Because however much money you spend, whether it's $1 or $1 million, it's only going to unlock something that was already in you. You spending money doesn't unlock me. You spending money unlocks you. So why would you ever deny yourself of being able to unlock a version of you that you have never experienced before because you're too focused on what something costs? See, that's the problem with our society. We don't have a problem going and buying the Chanel bag and spending $1,200. We don't have a problem buying the Louis bag and spending $1,500, even though you're going to have those things for a couple of weeks and then you're going to put them up in your closet and you might rock them every now and then that's it. But you won't spend the money on to take the course. You won't spend the money on the mentor. You won't spend the money on the life coach. Someone that can unlock a version of you that's going to increase your whole financial situation. We don't do that. But we don't have a problem going to giving the money to Louis Vuitton. We don't have a problem giving it to Chanel and Gucci and all of these other places like that. But when it comes to our growth and development, something happens here. When we start questioning everything. You don't question Louis Vuitton, even